Hello children, today let us start class 8 mathematics chapter 6 square and square roots. Here we are dealing with squares. Actually what is a square? A number if you multiply by itself, whatever the result you get that the other number result of that or else the product of same numbers. For example, if you multiply 6 into 6, it will be 36. So here if the number is a, we represent it by a square. So this is square of a number. This is called square of a number. A number multiplied by itself and its result is called its square. The result is called its square. And once you take out the root, that is 36 is the square and square root is the number which you are multiplying two times. This single number or any number which you multiply and get the result, this is called as its root. That is square root and it is represented by a symbol. This is a square root symbol. So in this chapter we are going to learn about square and square root and the definition of square and square root. Later on after some time we will learn about that. But before going to that, I would like to discuss some of the properties here. Properties of square numbers. Now we know what is a square. Properties of square numbers are how we are going to judge whether a number is a square or not. If a number has 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9, 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9 in the units place in the sense ones place of the number, then it may or may not be a square number. If a number has 2, 3, 7 or 8 in its units place, that is again ones place, then it is not a square. For example, if a number has 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9, then it may be a square, that is 100. 100 is a square? Yes, 100 is a square because 10 into 10. Then 1, 81, 9 into 9, 4, that is 64, 8 into 8, this is also a square. 25, here you check the ones place, if these numbers are here then those may be a square. 25 is 5 into 5. Then 36, 6 into 6. And then 9, 49, 7 into 7. So these are the numbers where the ones place is 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9. And of course these numbers are square. In some cases if you get these numbers in ones place also those numbers may not be a square. Now the next part of this is if a number has 2, 3, 7 or 8 in its units place, then it is not a square. For example, 22. This is not a square because if you multiply any two numbers which are same number, any number, if you multiply twice you should get 22. There is no such number, if you multiply twice you will get 22. Later on we will prove with some other method here. But I would just like to show you 3. Number ends with 3. 33, 63. This is also not a square because it is ends with 3. Any number you multiply twice you won't get 3 in the ones place. 7, 77, 47, this is also not a square. 8, 88, this is also not a square. That means here if you multiply any number, for example 8 into 8 is 64, 9 into 9 is 81 and 10 into 10 is 100. But in all these 3 we are not getting 88. That means the number in the ones place decides whether the given number is square or not. Now let us move on to next problem. If a number has 1 or 9 in units place, then its square ends in 1. That is, if a number has 1 or 9 in its units place, then its square, whatever the result you get after multiplying it twice, then its square ends in 1. That is 9, 1. 81 is a number where a number has 1 or 9 in its ones place. Then its square ends in 1 into 1 is 1. then its square ends in 1. Of course, its square also ends in 1. Now 9, 79. If you multiply this 9 into 9, this is 81. Again, this result also will end in 1. That means again the number here, ones place number you should take, multiply it, its square, and its square's ones place is also 1. This is the property. Now, next property, if a square number ends in 6, the number whose square it is will have either 4 or 6 in units place. If a square number ends in 6, that is 36. 36 is 6 into 6. That means whose square it is. Whose square it is? 36 is square of 6. The number will have either 4 or 6 in units place. Yes, because here 6 is the number whose square is 36. This has its ones place as 6. If a square number ends in 6, the number whose square it is, that is 6, will have either 4 or 0 in its units place. For example, 16. Here also 4 into 4 is 16, but here the number in ones place is 6. Next, a perfect square has even number of zeros at the end of it. That means if you want to judge a number by seeing the zeros, for example 100. Here we have the number of zeros 2. That is an even number. Then it is a perfect square. That is 10 into 10. Now 1000. 1000 is not a perfect square because there are odd number of zeros here. 10,000. This is a perfect square which is equal to 100 into 100. And this is 1000 is 100 into 10. 100 into 10. And this is not a square because here we are not multiplying with same number. 100 is different, 10 is different. And here 10,000, of course, 100 into 100, 10,000. 10,000 is also perfect square because the number of zeros are 4. That means in a number, in a perfect, if it is a perfect square, it has even number of zeros. Now let us go on to the next part, that is number and its square. If a is a number, then a is a number, then its square is represented by a square. What does it mean? It is a into a, the number multiplied by itself. It gives its square. So here these are the numbers and their squares. 1 gives you 1, that is 1 into 1 is equal to 1. 2. 2 into 2 gives you 4. 3. 3 into 3 gives you 9. 4 into 4 gives you 16. 5. 5 into 5 gives you 25. 6. 6 into 6 gives you 36. 7. 7 into 7 gives you 49. 8. 8 into 8 gives you 64. 9. 9 into 9 gives you 81. 10. 10 into 10 gives you 100. So, these are the numbers and these are its squares. That is the number multiplied twice or the number multiplied by itself 2 times. That is nothing but the square of this number. And here again 11 into 11 gives you 121. 12 into 12 gives you 144. 13 into 13 gives you 169. 14 into 14 gives you 196. 15 into 15 gives you 225. 16 into 16 gives you 256. 17 into 17 gives you 289. 18 into 18 gives you 324. 19 into 19 gives you 361. 20 into 20 gives you 400. So, these are the squares of the 11 is 121, 12 is 144, 13 169, 14th square is 196, 15th square is 225, 16th square is 256, 17th square is 289, 18th square is 324, 19th square is 361 and 20th square is 400. And here this is called square and this is called its root. Its root is nothing but square root. That means the number which you multiply twice is the square root and its result is square. And here the process is reverse. That is, if you multiply here 13 by 13, you get this is square and its inverse process, that is its opposite process, if you do, you will get its root. That we will learn later. Now let us move on to exercise 6.1. Here the first bit, what will be the units digit of the square? Unit digit, this is not units, unit digit of the square of the following numbers. Now the given number is 81. If units place we have 1, units place is nothing but ones place. If units place we have 1. So write the square of this number, that is 1 into 1 is 1. So its square will end with 1 into 1 is equal to 1 here, because 1 into 1 is 1. This has only one place value, so it ends with 1. Second number, this is third example, 799. Here ones place has its units place digit is 9, that means ones place we have 9. 9, its square will end with 9 into 9, we have to write its square, that is 81. So this ends with 1. This number ends with 1. So the concept is the given number, consider only the ones place, then the ones place number you have to square it, and the square has in ones place 1. And now here 1, 2, 3, 1234 is the number, 4 is in ones place, so it has its units place digit as 4. 4, its square will end with 4 into 4, 16. So that is 6, because ones place is 6. Now last one, 52,698 has its unit place digit as 8. Its square ends with 8 into 8, 64, that is 4. Here the squares ones place is again 4. First we are going to deal with the given numbers ones place, then square it, then squares one place, whatever one place you get, then we should write here. So here it is given what will be the unit digit of the square of the following numbers, unit digit of square of the following numbers. So this is the result. Now let us move on to second bit. The following numbers are obviously not perfect square. Give reasons. Already here in the question itself they have given obviously not perfect square. That means the given numbers are not a perfect square numbers. But here we should give the reason. What is the reason behind this? That the number is not a perfect square. Here the condition for a number to be a perfect square are either the number in its unit place should have 0, 1, 5, 6 or 9, or it should be the number should contain, or it should have even number of zeros. Even number of zeros. So these are the two conditions. Either of the one, if you have the given number, then it will be a perfect square. Now first number 1057. Here ones place you have 7. It has its units place digit as 7, therefore it cannot be a perfect square. Yes, if units place digit is 2, 4, 7, 8, 3 also, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, then it will not be a perfect square. Here because it is 7, it is not a perfect square. So reason behind it is the number, the units place number is 7. Here it is 8. It has its units place digit as 8, therefore it cannot be a square, and according to the condition this is not a perfect square. Not a perfect square because it has its units place as 8. Next number, here there are, the given number is 64,000. Ones place is 0, but the number of zeros in the number are odd, that is 3 zeros. Has zeros at the end of it, since a perfect square cannot end with odd numbers of zeros, odd number of zeros, because here there are 3 zeros. So you cannot say, even though ones place is 0, you cannot say this as a perfect square, because the number of zeros here are only 3. Last one, 89,722. Here it is 2. Has its units place as 2. This number has its units place as 2. Therefore, it cannot be a perfect square, because units place is nothing but ones place. If in ones place, if you have 2, such numbers will not be a perfect square. So here we have learned, we have applied the properties, that is either the number should have 0, 1, 5, 6 or 9, then it will be a perfect square. If the number has even number of zeros in it, then it is a perfect square. These are the two conditions to be a perfect square. If the number has 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 and also if the number has odd number of zeros in it like this, then those numbers are not perfect squares. So this ends second bit of exercise 6.1, and in our next video we will continue with the next. Thank you.